email just hit your inbox. Your blood test results are finally here, but a doctor's appointment is 2 weeks away. You open the file with anxiety, and all you see is a wall of jargons like MCV, lipid ratio, glucose, which looks like a foreign language to you. And then you see a number flagged in red. Suddenly you start thinking, why is a vitamin D low? Or what does that cholesterol ratio actually mean? And before you even know, you are in a Google rabbit hole because the medical anxiety is real. At this time, waiting for your doctor's appointment is the hardest part. But today, I'm going to show you how to turn that confusing lab report into a plain English summary in less than 5 minutes using AI tools that can decode your lab results instantly without compromising your privacy or replacing a doctor. So let's get into it, because the goal of yours is to help you walk into your doctor's appointment feeling prepared, confident, and more in control of your health. Hi, I'm Medha, and if you've ever felt lost reading a lab report, this video is for you. So let's fix that. The biggest problem over here is that you feel helpless because you're holding a critical piece of information about your own body, but it's locked behind medical jargons. So the first thing you do is Google it. You search what does elevated LDL cholesterol mean, and instead of getting answers to your question, you get terrifying worst case scenario articles that leave you even more scared than when you started. That anxious gap between getting your results and actually talking to your doctor, millions of people fall into that. And honestly, our healthcare system wasn't built for an age where you get your results by email before your doctor even calls you. But that's starting to change, because now there are AI tools that act like a personal medical translator. Think of it as this way. You take a confusing document, feed it into one of these tools, and you get a straightforward summary back in plain language. That's it. No medical degree required. These tools read your blood test report, tell you what each items mean, whether your levels are normal, high, or low, and what those results might even point to. The goal here is not to replace your doctor, not even close. The goal is to turn that anxiety into understanding, so when you sit down with your doctor, you're having a real conversation, not just nodding along. So, how does a piece of software actually read a complex medical report? It's not magic, but it's pretty smart. These tools scan your report, identify the biomarkers, compare them to standard ranges, and explain them in plain language. The useful part is not just high or low, it is the context around what each marker generally means and what questions you may want to ask a doctor. So let's dive into it. Step 1 is to select the right tool, and that is the one most important thing that people get wrong. Never use a general purpose AI chatbot for this. No ChatGPT, Gemini, or Copilot. Those tools aren't built for your health data, and honestly, your medical history deserves a way better protection than a standard chatbot can offer. You want a tool that was specifically built for medical reports, one that's compliant with health privacy laws in your country. In Canada, that means FIPA or PPDR compliant. In the US, look for HIPAA compliance. It'll say so clearly in the privacy policy. Always check. A great example is Pocket Health here in Canada. There are also other platforms like BloodGPT and Sifox Health that are focused on health report analysis. I wanted to show you Pocket Health for this demo since it's a Canadian company, but my clinic doesn't have a partnership with Pocket Health yet. Hence, I'm using BloodGPT for demo purposes. Now, here's the part that actually surprised me when I first used BloodGPT. I uploaded a sample blood test report, and what it gave back wasn't just a translation. It told me what each one of those markers flagged in red might mean. It gave me possible interpretations in plain English that I could actually bring to my doctor. No jargon, no panic spiral, just clarity. And here's the part I love most. Some tools generate a custom list of questions to ask a doctor, not generic questions that apply to everyone. Questions based on your specific numbers. That's not just useful, that's a completely different kind of doctor's appointment. But wait, is this only useful for blood test results? Because I get that question a lot, and the short answer to this is not anymore. Pocket Health, for example, now gives you detailed explanation of imaging reports, X-rays, MRIs with key anatomy highlighted and doctor questions built right in. So whether it's your blood work or your scans, this technology is making it easier to actually understand what's going on inside your body. And yes, most of these tools are paid, but personally, I think spending on your health is an investment, not an expense. That feels a lot better to me than dropping sensitive personal info into a generic AI chatbot or spiraling at 2 a.m. on Google. Now, Before you go try any of this, please remember that these are just tools to help you understand your lab reports. It is not a doctor, it is not a diagnosis, it's not a medical advice. It can make mistakes, and more importantly, it does not know you. It does not know your full medical history, your lifestyle, or your family history. The symptoms you haven't mentioned to anyone yet. Only you and your doctor can put that complete picture together. Think of it as this way: the AI is your co pilot. It organizes the data, it gives you a clear view out of the window. But your doctor is a captain. They have the training and the judgment to make the actual call. So here's the one hard rule with these tools: never use AI generated information to self diagnose. Never use it to change your medication, and never use it to second guess what a doctor has told you. So, if it's not for diagnosis, what's the real benefit? I feel the real benefit is in how you show up to your appointment with your doctor. That's it. Instead of walking into your doctor's office confused and overwhelmed, you walk in prepared and can have a deep and meaningful conversation. Let me give you an example of what it means. Picture the difference between walking in and saying to your doctor, "My report looks a little weird. I really don't know what's going on," versus walking in and saying, "My vitamin D has been consistently low for the past year. Could we discuss whether a supplement is right for me? Or the report showed a slight upward trend in my A1C levels. I would like to talk about what proactive steps I can take." Those are two completely different conversations. The second one is deeper, more productive, and you leave actually feeling heard and with a clear plan. The best way to see the power of this is to try it yourself, because that confusing page of medical jargon doesn't have to be a source of stress anymore. With the right AI tools used responsibly, you can turn that data into knowledge. Not to replace a doctor, but to show up as a better partner in your own health, ready to ask the right questions and to understand the answers. So, look for a secure, privacy compliant tool in your country, upload one report, and see what a difference it makes. Now, I would like to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me one biomarker that has always confused you: cholesterol, vitamin D, or something else. Let me know. And if this video helped you feel a little more in control of your health, hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.